All right, we are not sure what's going on. No ambulance.
No.
Sheriff's deputies, and
It's
they've
for
shut down the entrance to the loop. This loop in the campground. They're not letting anybody in, but
glad I made it in.
yeah, this literally
About
happened.
10 minutes before I got it. After I got in.
They're right over there. We're going in. They're flashlights in the field, looking for somebody.
Go inside.
Yep, we're going inside. When we started this lifestyle, we thought RVing was going to be all about campfires and mountain views. But when temperatures hit the 90s, surviving the heat becomes a full-time job. Today, we're showing exactly how to stay comfortable when it's just too hot to be outside.
It is hot out here. Doesn't look like we're going to be doing a hike today. "91 degrees. It's a hot one today."
As you guys can hear, we got the air conditioner running. We had planned to go to nearby state park, Roxborough State Park. Do a little hike this morning. Capture some footage of the hiking trail that goes up. It's the start of the Colorado Trail. We'll put some information in there about that, but we did not get an early start. We were up late last night due to some activity in our area of the campground. We never did find out what it was, but lots of sirens coming in about 10 o'clock last night. Sheriff's Department, park rangers, I don't know who else. They actually closed down the road, the entrance to our loop. And we were standing outside kind of trying to figure out what was going on and realized pretty quickly that they were, they had spotlights, flashlights and stuff going on just behind us. So it looked like they were looking for somebody, and we thought, probably better to go inside. So we kind of came inside, turned the lights off, just hunkered down. But the last, I don't know if it was a park ranger, I think it was sheriff's deputies, did not leave until midnight. So, and like I said, we never found out. So late start this morning. It's too hot now to get outside. So we're going to do some indoor chores. Need to do some laundry today. Probably go grocery shopping. And just talk about how we stay cool. Living full time in an RV the hot summer days. So let's talk about why RVs heat up so quickly.
It's a lot like your car. You know, there's no insulation in your car. So when that sun's blaring down in the parking lot on your car, you know, it can go well over 100 degrees. So it gets brutal. So
You know, in your car on a hot day, it's going to be, 10 degrees
or more.
Yeah. We can get it cooled down pretty quickly in here, but the problem is if you turn the air conditioners off for even a couple minutes, it starts warming back up immediately.
Right.
So Sometimes, like during the day, we'll turn the temperature up, especially on hot days like this, in the bedrooms. And then as the day goes on, we lower the temperature a little bit so it's cool enough at night to sleep.
Right.
But there's been times where we turn it off the night before and forget to turn it on the next day, and you go up there and it is sweltering.
Pretty toasty
Yeah.
in there.
So if you turn it off, it doesn't take very long at all for it to heat up.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Or to cool off. It's with our AC units that we have here in the rig, they cool it off pretty quickly. The chill cube does a great job here in the living room, and the ones in the bedroom and the bunk room do a great job.
They're just noisy.
Right.
And we typically don't run the one in the office unless, it's a really hot day and I'm working in there. Usually the one in the bedroom and the one in here, will keep the entire rig cool. On days like this, I'll turn it on just simply because I think it keeps the other two from working as hard.
Yep.
If we've got that room cooled off. So if that room's warm, all the surrounding areas are going to be warm. So.
Right.
And nearly everything surrounds that area. So let's talk about the cupboards. This is one thing we didn't realize.
We found this out the hard way.
We did. We put chocolate up in here right after we started. We started in July. We had a chocolate soup mess. So it is significantly warmer in the cupboards than it is in this room. So it just doesn't, they don't work efficiently enough to really cool down the cupboards. Or like the pantry's maybe not as bad.
Not too bad.
But, I mean, it's not as warm as it is outside, but it's definitely, you can put your hand in there or pull something out, and it is absolutely warmer than it is in the rest of the
Without
RV.
doubt.
Yeah. One of the things that I think really isn't talked about much with the extreme heat and RVing, on social media is the concern for your pets.
Yeah, that's true.
So if weather is bad, if there's bad storms coming, we won't leave, or we'll everything we need to get done, we'll make sure that it is done and we're back at the rig before the bad weather hits, because we don't want to leave Fenn helpless here in the rig if there's bad weather coming. Tornadoes, high winds, things like that.
Heavy rains.
Yeah.
The rain hitting the roof is pretty loud, so.
Yeah. So consequently, same thing goes with heat, except with the heat, there are several different devices you can purchase that link to your cell phone that will help monitor, the heat in your rig. So, or the cold in your rig.
Right.
We've purchased Govee temperature monitoring devices. Now, we haven't installed them yet. We need to do that so that, especially during the summer, we can monitor the heat. It'll send us notifications on our phone if, for some reason, the temperature were to drop.
Right.
And then we can head back home to make sure that he's not sitting in a camper that's
150 degrees in here.
Right.
Another challenge is on travel days, when we're traveling in hot areas, the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, these tires get crazy hot on road days. So driving on that blacktop, those tires start heating up. And because of that, we have to stop more frequently. We'll stop for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to let the tires cool down a little bit. And then we hit the road back again. So it's a little bit of a challenge.
So that's just some of the challenges when you're RVing full-time.
Right.
Not even full-time. I think if you're just even a weekend warrior or leisurely doing it.
Still a concern. Still concerns.
Yeah, heat is still an issue. And,
Right.
it's just like in your home, we had a 2-story home and we had vaulted ceilings in our master bedroom, and the air conditioner struggled. It just wasn't a
Right.
big enough air conditioner for the square footage that we had. So similar issues. I actually think we stay cooler in this bedroom than we did in our sticks and bricks.
Could be.
Because it was such, I mean, our master bedroom was probably the same square footage of this rig.
Right, just about,
It was
just
a very
about.
large master bedroom, but it was vaulted. It had vaulted ceilings, so
Right.
it
on
we-
the top floor, you know, so it just heats that whole roof, and
Yeah.
once that roof heats, you know, it's
It-
tough to get it to cool down.
Yeah. It'd be freezing cold downstairs and sweltering up in the bedroom. So I think we stay cooler here. But with those challenges in mind, we have learned a few tips and tricks
Yep.
over the last 2 years.
Hope you guys learned some of them, picked some of those up.
So we'll talk about those next.
So one of the things, if I have to cook, I'd rather not use the oven because it just heats up the rig so much. So we have one of my favorite kitchen tools, the Foodie Ninja, which is a crock pot, air fryer, double boiler, saute. I can do anything in this thing. So this is great because it cools down fast, heats up fast, so it doesn't heat the rig up when I'm cooking dinner. The other thing is when I do have the Ninja going, or the oven for that matter, I have the fan going to kind of expel as much heat as I can off the roof. And sometimes when it's really hot out, I'll put that on to kind of vent everything out too.
So this air conditioner is really loud, and it can kind of disrupt your sleep at night. There's 3 of us that sleep in this bed, Scott and I, and Fen, of course. So the thermostat is over by the door, and this area can get heated up with 2 people and a dog in this bed. So even though we have the thermostat set low, it's reading the temperature in that area. Well, the temperature in this area is running a couple degrees warmer just due to body heat. So one of the things I finally did, because Scott's fine. Scott would be thrilled if we slept at 70 degrees. I picked this fan up. I got it at a thrift store yesterday. It is a USB cord. Right now I just have it stuck on there with 3M Velcro. But this did pretty good in keeping me cool last night. So I can just point it right at my face and not disturb Scott at all. And it's got 3 settings. So we'll see over time how that holds up. But that's the brand name. So it worked pretty good last night, and I had it on the lowest setting. So the office air conditioner has been on for about an hour now, and you can see the temperature went from 84 to 68 degrees. So they do a really good job, and it's not even running it right now. So it reached the temp I had it set to, and now it'll help maintain the temperature in the rest of the rig with the other 2 air conditioners.
Well, we have awnings on the whole passenger side here. We have one in the back and one here in the front. The one here in the front covers the bedroom and office area, and the one in the back here covers the living room and the kitchen. And they really make a big difference when the sun's out. When it's hot like this, having these awnings out make a huge difference on the sides. Cools it down quite a bit here. I love these awnings. They work great for us. The only disadvantage is you know, when it's windy, we bring them in. We keep close eye on them. We don't ever leave them out without being unattended. We've seen too many real horror stories of watching them rip off the walls, and pretty horrific. So we don't play that game. If there's any kind of real heat or wind, we bring them in.
One of the ways that we've learned to stay cool is these blinds. Brinkley does a really nice job with these blinds. This was one of the selling points for us, was these blinds. So a lot of blinds have the pull down shades, just the regular string or cord or whatever. But these are built in, and well, I'll show you on this window. So these don't let a lot of light in. They're almost full blackout shades, and you've got several options. So if I just put this one up, then I've got full sun, or I can bring this up and it kind of dims it a little bit. But on these hot days, and as much as we love these windows, on hot days we keep the blinds closed because it makes a huge difference in the temperature of the rig.
Absolutely. Additionally, with these blinds, they have the Reflectix already built into it, so it helps reduce some of that exterior heat from reaching the inside of the blinds. Also, when we purchased the rig, one of the special add-ons that we had was the dual pane windows that help provide an extra insulation throughout the rig, which seems to make a big difference.
I am going to make myself a painkiller on this hot summer day while we talk about some of the ideas that we had about RVing and the hot temperatures, and some things that have helped and some things that didn't really make a difference. So, painkiller. I'm just making one, so a shot of tequila, little can, one of these little, I don't know how many ounces it is, of pineapple juice. Okay, now for the coconut part, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Most liquor stores will have, it's called coconut cream mix, comes in a white tube, and it's very thick, and it really does give a better flavor, but I have found that this pina colada mix works really good. So Master of Mixes pina colada mix. So I did 1 can of the pineapple juice. I like it a little more coconutty, so I'm gonna add a little over a shot. This is nice and thick, and just a splash more. Oops. Now I probably need to add more tequila. And I like a little bit, just a splash of lime juice in it. Otherwise it gets too sweet. So, we'll squirt just a little bit. Guess I'm making a mess.
Where was it that you had this the first time?
Technically, the first time I had it was at the Table Mountain Inn in Golden, Colorado, which is one of our favorite Mexican food restaurants. Actually, it is our favorite. I didn't know that's what it was. And then when we were in the Dallas area last year, it was a little bit different in that area. It was called Hemingway. And it was, what was different about it? Just the nutmeg, I think.
I think the nutmeg, maybe.
I do like the nutmeg on it. But, oh, I know what was different. So typically a painkiller is rum. I use tequila. That makes it a Hemingway. Rum, if you want a painkiller, some people prefer the rum. I myself like tequila. So this is actually a Hemingway, which is exact same thing as the painkiller, except it's tequila instead of rum. All right, put it in a shaker. This lid doesn't always go on, right? So I need to make sure it's on, because too many times where it is splashed all over me. I don't shake it as well as Scott does, but I shake it until I can't touch the shaker anymore.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake.
Because you want it nice and frothy and ice cold. Woo, it's getting cold. That's probably good. And I have one of my large ice cubes in there. I'm going to pour this over the top. Creamy, pineapple-y. Now technically, it needs just a hint of nutmeg on the top. Just a sprinkle of nutmeg on the top. There we go. And it's ready to go. Very delicious, very refreshing in the summer. Okay, so now let's talk about some things, ideas that we had, some things that have worked, some things that haven't. So we thought we needed this big, and I know we've talked about this before, this giant generator, and that we were going to be able to run everything in the rig on the generator. That we just plug the generator in and turn everything on. Well, but that's not really the case. So it's not safe. I mean, we have a big generator, but I wouldn't want to run all 3 ACs, microwave,
No.
all the lights, everything on the generator. So it was one of the first things we purchased, and we've never used it. Fans. We don't have a lot of fans. I have the one that I showed you next to the bed. Just got that because everybody kept saying, why don't you get a fan so Scott's not freezing? So I did. Things that have worked. We've already talked about.
Yeah, we
those
talked about
things
all
that
that
have
stuff.
worked. Well, we made it through this hot 90, well, I don't want to see what our high was, but
Probably 91, something like that.
90 plus degree day. So it's cooling off now. It's about 85. Sun's
Beautiful
starting to
night
go down. Yeah, yeah. It's there's just a little bit of a coolness, almost like a little bit of a cool breeze in the air, and I can feel the heat coming off the rig a little bit, but we survived the day.
Yep, we sure did.
Just one last tip we kind of wanted to share is that we found that on days like this, we switch up our walks. So, you know, we didn't get up early enough and get out. Well, we were both up fairly early, but we didn't get out of the house early enough to go for a hike before it got hot. So tonight, when the sun sets a little bit more, we'll go on an evening hike, and it'll be lovely and nice and cool.
Absolutely.
So we're going to enjoy this sunset a little bit, and I think we have a few more of these 90-degree days, and then it cools off a little bit, and then it'll be back. So
I hope you guys found some of this interesting and informative for you, and you guys catch a few little tips that we gave out.
So put in the comments, what is the hottest temperature you've ever camped in? Or do you always camp up in the mountains where it's a little cooler?
Right.
Thanks for following. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Thanks for all your support.